Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm Gamesplaining Altiplano. If you've watched the other video, you'll have an idea of how Altiplano works and how it runs, and I am going to have a playthrough. I've set the game up as a two-player game. So I've got red versus blue. This little guy here is the first player marker, so that tells you who the first player is because you will forget through the game. These cards have a list of chits and money on the bottom. That is your starting items, and we take it away. So all this will happen normally at the same time. So the player on the left, or first player, only has 3 items that he can pull out of his bag. The player on the right has 4 items that he can pull out of his bag. So the player on the left will put those 2 in, so they'll get him an extra food. And if he puts this one in here, that'll get him an extra money, and he'll be able to spend the money to get some things from over and the side. The red player, he actually likes the maneuvers that were done earlier, so he will put those 2 up there and that one next to it. Wood isn't going to get any money if he goes over there, but he might just put that up there. He's doing that so it's out of the way. You can, I didn't say this in the Gamesplanation, but you can, once you've played, if you've got still stuff out on your board, you can bring it back down the bottom. It just means you're going to draw less things out of your bag for the next turn, because you can only go up to, at the maximum, 4 at the moment. Okay, it's now blue player's first turn, and he's going to start in the C space, and he will start by taking those 2 and getting a food for it. It is then red's turn. Red is going to start at the alpaca farm, and he will spend a food to get one more llama. Sorry. Then it's back over to blue's turn. Blue is going to move via the cart over to this area, and he will turn this in for 1 more money. Red, while he's here, he's going to turn those 2 in for 1 tobacco. It's blue's turn again. Blue has nothing else on his board, but he can spend some money. So what he's going to do is he will spend 2 money to get this card. That goes over there. So notice there's a little money bags thing, which means that this is an action that can only happen because he's standing at the place. Then if we go back over to red's turn, once again red has nothing to do, so he might actually just stay where he is. Yeah, he'll stay there for the moment, and let's just see what happens. So we come back to first player. First player can also spend money. He's got 1 money left, and that will allow him to get a card. And yeah, look, he might do that. Start with, so he's looking through for a card that he's going to be able to get. So he can get that, but he can't yet get the avocado. He can't get that one. That. He's close to being able to get that. Yeah, he thinks that's going to be the best one to go. That'll give him 11 points at the end of the game if he can get that. So he'll take that one for the moment. And that card costs him 1 money. Okay, we go back. It's his turn again because it's a 2-player game. The other person's already passed. And he will also pass. So, because he's passed, we now reset for the next turn. So these all move down 1 because 1 was purchased. A new one comes out. The llama gets pushed across the other side because it's the other person's first turn. Now the bags are empty, so we take everything from the container, empty it into the bag, and then draw 4 fresh chits. Now there's 1 chit left in that bag, so that one's going to have to be drawn before we take some more. The same happens on the other side. Okay, we then go to splitting the things around. So the red player is on the farm at the moment, so it might be worthwhile doing that and that, so he can do 2 things there before he moves. In fact, it might even be worth doing that. So he does 3 things before he moves. This can be traded then in for some money, and he can then use that money to purchase a thing. This player really needs to get 1 more fish. It looks like the only way to gain fish is by picking up that, so he's going to need more money to get that. So it might be worth his while to put that there. That will gain him extra money, and then he can use that to purchase that one, which will then enable him to get a second fish by using food, which will then enable him to get a second one of these, or he could use the second fish to get this. So that's a worthwhile thing to do. This gets set back to the original spot as well. He might put that there, so that'll enable him to move the fish across, and he'll put these 2 food over here. That'll enable him to get a stump, which will then enable him to move down and get more chips out. Okay, so we start with first player. First player will turn that in for 1 more llama. This player is up at the money bags area at the moment, so he will turn this in for 1 money. This player can then turn in the 2 alpacas for 2 food. Okay, this player can now spend his 1 money to get this, which is worth just the 1. So he will do that, spend the money. Back over to first player, who is going to move. So he'll move his cart, and he will go to the Maybach spot. 1, 2, 3. While there, he will now turn in that for 1 money. Come back to this player, who will now use that fish to fulfill that good. We need to get another fish and another rock to enable them to keep moving forward, but we can see where that's going to happen. Back to first player. First player can't do anything else other than purchase some stuff. He's got 2 money there, so it might be worth his time to purchase this one, which goes in the mountain spots. Let's move that out a little bit. And that costs him 2 money, so that was the 1 money for the card plus 1 for the position. Okay, back over to this player. This player will now use his cart to move. He's going to move to here. 1, 2, 3 to get there, and then he spends his 2 food to create 1 log. Back over to first player. First player has nothing else he can do. No money, no things to do. Come back to this player. Also, he has no money, no things to do, so he will also pass, which now means these will move down. Because 2 have been taken out from here, we don't take extras out, we just move them down. 2 new ones come in. The carts get pushed back over to the starting position. First player changes hands again, and then we go 1 more time. Let's do 1 more round and see how we go with that. So, first thing, we take things that's an empty bag, which means everything in the cart goes into the bag. This guy's getting 4 things out. Same happens with this guy. That has 1 thing in it, so that comes out first. The rest of that cart then goes into the bag, and then we pull out the next things. You notice there's a lot of food coming through here because he's created a lot of food, so we need to do something about that also. Okay, this player, first player, this is the blue player. He's going to need to go to the fish area to create that 1 fish, so we have a second one to go in there. He could put that down there, so what he might do is put that one on there, which will allow him to move from here to there to do this action, and then he can use the cart to move all the way over to the other side to do this action. And this player, I think, where's he standing at the moment? He's red, so he's up on the money bags area. He has no money. He could trade that in for 1 money, which would enable him to take that side card. I think it's probably worth his while to go to the mountains at the moment, and that'll get him those 3 things. Okay, here we go. First player is this one here, and he is going to walk one spot to here. He's going to use his food to create a fish. And it's the other player's turn. The other player will use that to create 1 money. Back to first player. First player is now going to move his carts to enable him to get all the way over here. And he will then use those 2 to move him down 1, which means he'll now be able to pull 5 things out of his bag rather than just the 4. Back over to this player. And red has 1 money, so he could create more wood. He has the ability, all of them have the ability just to use 2 food to create a wood there. He has a lot of food. It might actually be worth his while to do that. So yes, he's going to spend 1 money to take 1 more food, or 1 more thing in the forest spots, should I say. Back over to first player. First player is out of things that he can do. There's nothing else he can do at that space, so he will pass. The player on this side, second player, will now move over to the mountains, which is just there. He will then spend 1 food to create 1 stone. Because the other one's passed, it's his turn again, so he'll spend his 2 food to create that little pile of rocks, and that will do him at the moment. And then we go to the cleanup phase, which pushes these guys down 1. You see how this game is working out, and you kind of see what everyone is gaining, what they're working towards. I think that's enough of a playthrough at the moment. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you'd like to be Gamesplayed, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.